Okay, welcome. If we haven't met, I'm Jennifer Elliott, and welcome to a quick 30-minute level one. Okay, so get yourself set. I'm just sitting, crossing at the ankles, sitting on a nice folded blanket, hands on the thighs. Close the eyes and take a few moments just to drop your attention into this space, into the body. Start to notice the breath. And today's practice will be very heart-centered. We'll do some heart-opening practices. And so just notice in this moment, is your heart lifting? Is it rising and falling on each breath? And maybe even notice the side ribs expanding with your breath. And can you even notice the back ribs moving? So the heart is not just sort of in the front. We can think of the heart as the whole thoracic cavity and feel it move in all directions. And then just draw your hands together at your heart center. Take a moment to set an intention for your practice. My intention today is compassion, holding compassion for the body as we practice. If you have your own, set that here. And then simply blink your eyes open. Great. Interlace your fingers, turn your palms open, press them away from you so you're getting a nice good stretch through the fingers. Sit as tall as you can through the spine. And then take the arms overhead. Lengthen through the side waist. Drop your front ribs a little bit. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, navel in and twist to the right. Inhale, tall. Exhale, navel in. Continue to twist to the right. One more. Inhale and exhale. Slowly come all the way back to center. Bring your hands down. Switch the interlace. I like to see which index finger is on top and switch it. And then switch the cross of the ankles as well. Interlace your hands forward. Send the arms all the way up. Lengthen. How long can you get through the side waist? Drop your front ribs down and in. Lengthen. And then on exhale, twist to the left. Inhale, tall. Exhale, navel in. Continue to revolve to the left. One more. Inhale. And exhale. And then come all the way back to center and release your hands down. Okay. Find your way to hands and knees. Slide that blanket off to the side in case you'd like it for knee padding. You've got it available. Really root through your palms. You're in a nice table pose. Spread wide through the fingers. Have your knees be underneath your hips. Inhale, pull your chest through your shoulders, widen through your collarbones. Exhale, press into your palms, back ribs, back of the heart reaches up towards the sky. Inhale, chest is forward, navel lifts in and up. Exhale, round, press into the palms as the back ribs rise. One more on your own. And then when you shift back, come all the way into child's pose. Just shift back, hips to heels. And then you can glance up slightly and just walk your hands over to the right. So keep them nice and extended, a good shoulder width apart. You can fold back in. And then consider taking your right arm behind your back. Palm faces the ceiling. Maybe you tuck into the left hip crease, just personal preference right now. Keep the forehead melting to the earth. Lift your right shoulder head. Take a couple of breaths. And then place your right palm back, look up, and walk the hands over towards the left side. So fold in, left arm behind the back, maybe tuck into the hip crease. Lift the left shoulder head. And then release, you can walk that left hand forward, hands out in front of you, set your hands up for downward facing dog. So spread wide through the fingers, let the biceps, the inner upper arms spin up, root firmly through index finger and the thumb. Take an inhale, come up, hands and knees, lift the heart. Exhale, tuck the toes, keep the knees fairly bent as you lift the hips up into your first down dog. Let the head go, pedal out the feet. Just take a few moments, getting into the legs, anything else you want. Sometimes it's nice to swivel the feet side to side. And then eventually you're just going to find center and walk your hands back towards your heels to the back of the mat. When you get to the back of the mat, just hang, grab onto your elbows, let the head go. The knees are fairly soft, the feet are still hip width apart. And then switch the clasp so that the other elbow is on top. Place your hands on your hips, elbows to the sky, lead with your heart, and slowly come on up to standing. Okay, walk to the top of your mat. You can have the feet together at the top of your mat. Big toes touch, little space between the heels. Lift through the pubic bone, arms by your sides. Grow tall through the spine. Inhale, reach the arms up, palms press. Exhale, forward fold, soften your knees on the way down. Inhale up halfway, hands on something. Exhale, fold, bend your knees and step your right foot back. Drop your right knee to the floor. You have that blanket if you want, or you can always double your mat over. Anjaneyasana. Inhale, arms rise. Okay, so now we're here for a moment. So lift up through the frontal hip bones. Hug the inner thighs towards one another. Take the hands behind you and hook right thumb on top of left. You can keep a good bend in the elbows. Shimmy the shoulders down the back. Lift the breastbone without lifting the head. And take just another breath or two here. Really work those inner thighs. And then you can release the hands to the ground. Bring the left knee back to join the right. You can stay on your knees, or this can always be plank. Either way, shift forward and go slow to the floor. Elbows hug the body the whole way down. Press firmly into the tops of your feet. Take an inhale, lift your heart into a low cobra. And release. Again, inhale, lift the heart, come up a little higher, belly in, and release. Last one, inhale, lift the heart into your cobra. Or at any time today, this can become up dog. Push into the feet to lift those kneecaps off the floor. Down dog, however you ride. Take a couple of breaths. So really spread wide through the fingers. Press firmly into the inner hands. Look back at the feet, see that they're hip width apart. And really try to lift your toes up off the mat towards your shins. That'll help you ground your heels a little bit. Keep that lift up the legs, feeling the kneecaps lift, the thighs engage. And then you can raise the right leg up behind you halfway. Take an inhale. Exhale, knee to nose, just hold it. Pull the knee up high to your chest. And then set your foot down next to your right thumb tip. If you have to, grab the ankle, boost it up the rest of the way. Drop the back knee down again. Inhale, arms rise, Anjaneyasana. But this time we're going to bring the palms together, inhale, and then exhale, we're going to twist, elbow over the knee. Lengthen your spine, inhale, exhale, navel in and twist. You can stay or tuck the back toes under and lift up into your lunge. So yogi's choice. We're going to twist either all the way down with the knee or you've lifted. Take another breath. Navel in with control, unwind so just the hands come down. If the back knee was down, lift it. And then the back foot is going to step next to the left thumb tip. So your feet should be back hip width apart at the top of your mat. Come up halfway, hands on shins or floor, and fold. Root to rise, reach the arms to the sky, palms press, navel in and up. And exhale, hands to heart. Okay, next side. Inhale, arms rise, palms press. Exhale, forward fold. Soften the knees on the way down. Inhale up halfway, chest forward. Exhale, fold. Step the left foot back. Drop the knee down. Pat it if you need. Inhale, arms rise. Anjaneyasana. Sweep the hands behind you. Hook left thumb on top of right. Shimmy the shoulder heads back. Lift the sternum. Chin is level to the floor. Couple of breaths. Really hug those inner thighs. That's going to give you the stability you're looking for. All right, release the hands, sink into your hips. Right leg back. You can stay on your knees or you can be in plank. Tip forward either way, lower slowly to the floor. Elbows hug the body. Inhale, cobra. Sphinx is on the forearms or up dog, yogi's choice. Roll the shoulder heads back wherever you are. Downward facing dog. And breathe. Spread wide through the fingers. Lift up through the hips. Anchor down through the heels. The left leg lifts, inhale. Exhale, knee to nose, pull it in. Step your foot next to your left thumb tip. Drop the back knee down. Inhale, arms rise, Anjaneyasana. This time, hands to heart. Inhale, exhale, twist. Elbow over the knee. Lengthen the spine. Inhale again. Exhale, twist. Now stay or tuck the back toes under to lift. Your choice. In either case, hug the inner thighs together. Navel in, slowly unwind, hands down. Take the back leg and lift it if it wasn't already, and back foot steps next to the right thumb tip. Inhale up halfway, chest forward, and fold. Root to rise, reach the arms all the way to the sky, palms pressed. And exhale, hands to heart. Okay, release the hands, turn to the side of your mat. Let's actually take our two blocks and throw them behind the ankles, that way they're there if we need them. Okay, so your feet are wide. From within the hip socket, turn the right toes to face the right side of the front side of your mat. Kick the back heel, front heel intersects the back arch. Sink into your front lunge, and just check out that the front knee doesn't pass the ankle. Take the arms out. We're going to do these dynamically. So I like to kind of get myself set up first, make sure I'm happy with it. Good. Palms turn up. All right. So inhale, straighten the right leg, reach the arms up. Exhale, bend in, press the palms down. Looks like you're pushing through water. Inhale, rise, straighten the leg. Exhale, ground, press down. All right, do a couple more on your own. All right, now stay in this warrior two. Now we're going to continue. Left arm behind the back, right arm high, reverse. And then elbow to the thigh, top arm over. Okay, inhale, reverse. If you need to give the front leg a break, straighten it. And exhale, side angle. So again, twice more on your own. Just getting a little bit of movement. Working dynamically. And then this one we're going to hold. So when you get into this next side angle, just hold on to it. Just stay where you are. Good. Sink a little deeper. Find your breath. Top hand on your hip. Bottom hand is going to go on the block behind the ankle, hand on that block, and then go slow to straighten up the right leg. Sort of pull the hip back, lengthen the side waist, and then move that block to whatever height is going to give you the longest spine, right? Your spine can be as long as possible. Open up the left shoulder. You can keep hand on hip, which is really nice, or at any time that hand can come up towards the ceiling. Couple of breaths here. Just firmly through the right big toe. Try to really lift the right kneecap up the leg. Good. Top arm high if it wasn't already. Inhale, rise, come all the way up. Okay, hands on hips, turn the right toes in. Turn to the other side. So externally rotate the left leg to the back of the mat, turn your right toes in. Heel to arch, sink into your first lunge, just make sure your warrior two is good. Arms are open out to the sides. Okay, so once you've got your pose, turn your palms up. Inhale, straighten the legs, reach the arms high. Exhale, sink in. Inhale, reach. Exhale, sink. All right, so take a couple more dynamically on your own. And then hold this warrior two once you find it. Inhale, reverse it. Right arm behind the back, left arm high. Exhale, elbow to the thigh, right arm over. Take a nice little dynamic movement. Inhale, reverse. You can keep the knee bent or straighten it. And exhale, side angle. Good. Take twice more on your own. We'll end up in that side angle. Dynamic movement is so good. It gets the blood pumping. Gets the circulation going. We're in our side angle now. Hand on hip or arm reaches over the body. Lengthen the side waist. Both the physical heart, the energetic heart, the lungs, our prana, our breath, our life force, all of that is sort of in this heart space. So it's nice to get it moving, blood and circulation pumping. All right, top hand on your hip if it wasn't already. Look down. Find the block behind the ankle and slowly straighten up the leg for your triangle. Pull left hip back. Move that block to whatever height you need. If you're like me, I tend to lock up my knees, so I've got to give it a tiny micro bend. Root into the top big toe and lengthen the bottom waist. Top arm is up to you. Some of you, it will reach high. Firm your thighs. Hug them to the center line. Then reach the top arm high if not already. Inhale, rise, come to stand. Okay, hands to hips, turn your toes in, and put your blocks in front of you. Now, if you're like me, when I turn my toes in, my feet are not on the same line at all. So I'm gonna shift back, make sure my feet are on the same line like a tightrope. Feet are wide, toes turn in slightly, hug the outer ankles in, hands on hips. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, forward fold. Hands can either go on the blocks or the floor. It's just really personal preference. Firm the thighs. And then when you're ready, fold in. Parasarita Padottanasana A, which means I'm trying to get a nice bend of my elbows over my wrists. And you can use this with the blocks or hands on the ground. Really try to lift up through the kneecaps. Hug the inner thighs towards one another. Pull your sternum towards the ground. Find your breath. Place your hands on your hips, elbows to the sky. Lead with your heart and come all the way up to stand. Okay, I'm gonna grab my blocks and I'm also gonna step my feet in for just a moment, work out my ankles, give them a little TLC. Okay, so we're gonna do that again, but we're gonna hold our blocks. So right now I'm holding my block kind of like a claw. I wanna have an open palm. If you don't have blocks, you can use a strap or you can interlace hands. But we're gonna go back into that same Parasarita Padottanasana, but I'm gonna take the short sides of the blocks together behind me. I'm gonna have my open palms. I'm not holding the blocks like a claw, but try to have straight fingers and roll the shoulder heads back. So you're really gonna feel this in the back of the arms. Okay, so shoulders back. Lift the sternum. This may be plenty. I'm already feeling it, honestly. Or you can start to tip forward. You might lose a block, so that's okay. Yogi's choice. Whew. I crack up every time I do this. It does not seem like it should be so hard. I can feel those triceps trembling. All right, just a couple more breaths. We can do it. Lead with the heart and slowly come back up. Okay, how do we do? Step your feet in, put your blocks back to the top of the mat, and find your way back to the top of the mat. Feet are together. Take an inhale. This time just sit back into a chair pose, Utkatasana. If you look down, the weight is in the heels, you can actually see your toes. Inhale, exhale, forward fold. Inhale up halfway, hands on shins or floor. Exhale, fold. Step back. We're just gonna go right to down dog. Take a couple of breaths here. And then place your knees on the ground. Okay, so another favorite thing I love to do with the block, which you may not agree with, is we're gonna get the hamstrings to fire. So if you have a block, use this. If not, you'll just bend your knee and kind of do the same work without the block. So I'm taking the block and I'm putting it between my Achilles and my bum, sort of the sit bone area, and I'm pointing the toes up. So I'm just sort of holding the block in between. And then I'm gonna raise from my table pose that leg up. So I'm using my left leg, so I'm gonna raise the left knee, but essentially we wanna look back and try to get the knee to the level of the hip. Yeah, belly in. And again, if you don't have the block, no big deal. Just raise your leg up and pull it. Navel lifts in. If you feel like this is okay for you and you're okay with the balance, maybe the right arm reaches back. A little challenging. Pinky side up. One more breath. Bring the hand down first if that's what was there, and then gently drop the knee down. Okay, we'll do the other side, and then we'll give a nice stretch to those Charlie horse hamstrings. So add the other block, or the other side, however you're doing it. Take a moment, and then raise the knee to the height of the hip. And it's easy to feel like you are, so it's nice to have something that you can see and actually check. Is that knee to the level of the hip? Pull the navel up to the spine, find your breath. If this is okay for you and you want to explore, take the left arm back. One more breath. Whew. And release, bring it down. Okay, take your blocks back. Lift up into down dog. We'll give ourselves a nice even stretch. Let the head go. And then shift forward to plank. From plank or knees, tip forward, lower all the way down to your belly. Okay, when you've arrived on your belly, bring your arms by your sides. Lift the shoulder heads up. Raise the feet, spread through the toes. Raise the arms, palms face each other like you're holding those blocks. Shalabhasana. Now stay in Shalabhasana, or we've done the work. If you want, reach for the ankles, Dhanurasana. So Shalabhasana or Dhanurasana. If neither of these feel great, go ahead and roll onto your back and do a bridge. And lower down from whatever you're in. Turn your head to one side. Feel your heartbeat. Feel your blood moving, your prana moving. And we'll just do that one more time. So if you're like me, my feet go wide when I rest. So I'm going to take my legs back neutral, sort of more parallel. Reaching back through the toes, reaching back through the fingers. Lift the heart, raise the legs, spin up through the inner thighs. Shalabhasana, Dhanurasana, or bridge, Setu Bandha, Sarvangasana. Lower, turn your head to the other side, rest. Bend your knees, wag your feet side to side. And if you're on your belly, you're going to press yourself up to hands and knees. Well, I guess if you're on your back, you'll make your way up as well too. Cross comfortably at the ankles, sit back behind the feet. Shift yourself forward and come to your back. So just a fancy way to get you to your back. And you can grab a strap. And just slide that strap over the right leg. Reach it to the ceiling. I already have a loop in my strap. I'm just going to slide it over the elbows and bring my palms together. I'm actually going to turn just because I know this is a better angle for me. I don't run into the wall as quickly. Okay, so stretching your hamstrings. And slowing down. A lot of those movements really open the heart, get the blood pumping. And so now we can feel the heart pumping, but hopefully slowing down. When you're ready, open your leg out to the right. However you'd like to do that. I usually open to the right and I just hold my calf with my hand. For me, that's a better placement. Bring your leg to the ceiling, switch hands, cross it all the way over. Enjoy your twist. And twists are just so great to do after back bends. Bring your right leg up, put your left foot into the strap. Open left. You can even use a wall if you've got one. Bring your leg to center, cross it over, enjoy your twist. Bring your leg to center, pull your knees into your chest. Now take a finishing pose for you. So if you want to stay on your back, it could be knees in or happy baby. I'm going to come up and do a seated forward fold. You might even end with legs up the wall. So take a moment to do your finishing pose. If it's something like legs up the wall, that might be your Shavasana as well. So take a moment, do what you need to just really feel complete in your practice. And we'll jump into Shavasana here in a moment. What's nice about the forward fold, even if it's legs up the walls, we did those nice twists and back bends. And so we've fully relaxed the spine and moved the other direction to cool the nervous system in our forward folds. All right, lead with your heart. Come up if you're in a forward fold. And then do what you'd like for Shavasana. I'm going to use my timer so that way we can fully relax. And I will set the timer. Let's see, we've got time. So I'm going to do 3 minutes for our Shavasana. Okay, so get comfortable, whatever that means for you. The eyes soften. If you had an intention, maybe revisit it. What's changed? What's remained the same? Whatever finishing pose you chose, turn the palms up. It'll open up the chest. It's also a gesture of being open to receive, whether it's just that next breath or an intuition and insight, to anything else the universe has to offer you. Be open. Shavasana. Start to draw your attention back. You can move fingers and toes. Arms overhead, maybe a good yawn. Bend your knees as you roll to your right. We roll to the right to be kind to the physical heart. And then eyes closed as you press yourself upright to seating. Hands to your heart in gratitude for all the work your body has done. Lift your chest. Bow your head. Namaste.